specifically, like what are maybe like the top 3 things you would include in your marketing message to try to capture those eyeballs and get them engaged into your ad, into your marketing message, and obviously into your lead funnel?
Yeah. And sorry, I cut out there. My AirPods suddenly disconnected, so I apologize.
Cheap AirPods.
So I know, right? So I think the main thing that I would focus on now is, and today's environment's different than what it'll be in 6 months from now. So those advertisements may be completely different as well, right? But I think the first one would quite honestly be that hone in on the fact that we understand that you have limited equipment, right? So one of the, as TJ and I were discussing this yesterday, he said, well, why can't people just do comp train? Or why can't people just do whatever, like this online programming? Because most of the time, online programming is predicated upon you having a certain subset of equipment to be done in a gym or a well-rounded out home gym. It's not meant for you to have one dumbbell and half a kettlebell handle. You know, like,
that's assuming you have a full set of bumpers, a full set of dumbbells and kettlebells, 15-foot ceilings for rings.
Right. So as many things with marketing, go to where your prospect is at. They don't have the equipment. We understand that they're at home, not in a gym. We understand that they can't go out easily. And so how can we craft a message around needing to be, you can't go very many places. We know the local weather and the local climate that we're in. We know or we can work with any range of equipment that you have, and we can also deliver a personalized approach. Hit on those 3.
Yeah, those are all really good, important pieces to the puzzle, and I think are important pieces to the messaging, and that a lot of other big box solutions couldn't really easily replicate.
Right. Right.
Like,
yeah. And so one last little step, as you picture this maybe in your head, the gyms that do this and that do this well and that do continue some sort of online service as you open back up, you don't need to beat the Orange Theories or the title boxing.
And we never did. We had to.
Exactly.
That game doesn't change.
Exactly. Now. You need to beat all the other fish that are the same size as you in the pond, and make those prospects that you're not currently working with see you as saying, man, Kansas Athletic Club has an amazing in-gym for when I do feel like I can go there. They've got this awesome individual design program that I can subscribe to. And they have this video series that I can do as I travel or as I need to. They hit all 3. And this other gym only has the brick and mortar thing. Again, we're talking about a newfound psyche here, and you've got to speak to this newfound psyche in your marketing messages from now on.
Yeah. Yeah. There's so much more that we could dive into there.
Oh, for sure. I've been doing it all morning with TJ, who's
squatting,
who's working in the
gym, practicing the sport.
Right.
I'll throw some ID stuff out there if you want to round it out. My 2 cents on individual design is that it's been done, it's been being done, and it's been being refined by a very small segment of the population, most notably pushed by the OPEX culture. And for better or for worse, some people are in love with the individual design model, and some people are in love with the individual design gym model. But Nick's 3-banger was perfect, right? There's an in-gym experience, there is a digital individual design experience, and there's a digital group experience. To look at the individual design marketing, the name itself is where people need to understand it's designed for their specific need. And, using a platform like True Coach on the individual profile bar, everything that you need to know about your client gets stored there. You honestly can't do a true assessment on the client because you can't see them, but you can do virtual assessments on them, and you can literally do your first 3 one-on-one sessions, visual, virtual, face-to-face with them. So you can assess them via view only, but not like in person with real tactile cueing. But then based on their assessments, based on their needs, and based on their experience, and then of course, based on their equipment and their ability to train, and then inevitably their goals, you can individualize a program. So if you can poetically and nicely and creatively define all those points of service, hand carrying, hand delivering, hand designing something for someone, now you've got a leg up on the other 15 gyms around you that are just simply sending out Zoom workouts. So individual design has the ability to be a home run, but coaches cannot just sugarcoat it and say, I'm going to charge you individual design and give you and the same as the group class.
Right.
And well, no, I mean, because then it's not individual, right? If the Zoom group is doing 21-15-9 box jump overs, burpees, and kettlebell swings, and you say, well, your individual design is just 15-12-9, that's not individual. That's just not it. Right. I mean, so if you're going to walk down the road, then you have to meet the professionals that are already there doing this job. And, you know, it's already been done. So luckily no one's recreating the wheel. No one's recreating this whole product.
But I think a lot of people feel like they are, because it's if you've been locked into this.
That's because they've had their head in the sand teaching group CrossFit for years, not realizing that, hey, people have shifted and they're doing well. You know, like there literally are gyms that they don't have a physical space because they recognize the overhead is just too wasteful. And why have overhead when you can do it digitally? And there are folks crushing the market, delivering exactly the message Nick just said: individualized care, compassion, empathy, understanding. We recognize where you are in the market. We want to help you, and we have the technology and the solution for your personal needs. If I'm a client and I read that, I'm like, fuck yeah, these guys got me. These guys understand me, and I'm interested in their product, or I'm interested in their plan. I'm interested in their program, whatever it is.
So one thing I do from time to time is I read these email template teardowns, where, you know, you kind of look at this email, this copy that's really highly engaging and highly converting because you have the metrics on those, and you kind of break down piece by piece on why each component was in that email and what it did for the overall picture. I wonder if there's a play here that we can do the same with either like an intro session virtually, or if there's any business or any kind of, you know, larger entity that has been able to successfully run ads that speak to the same message that we've kind of just outlined here, and kind of show an application of that.
The elephant in the room is OPEX. Period. Love them or hate them, they've already done this, and their online presence, their social media presence, their ad copy, their marketing campaigns, their funnels, like, they've been doing this for years. And so you can look and learn. People can take advantage of this time because they are at home studying, learning, evolving, taking classes or courses. The messaging is on point, consistent, which is the most important, consistency. And it is, you know, the statement is they are a lighthouse with a very focused beam. Their light is attracting a very specific audience, and they could care less about everybody else. They want only who they are going after. So they have defined their clientele, or they've defined their target market impeccably from a definition standpoint, and they march forward doing that exact thing you just said. Their message, their messaging, their copy, their imagery, their tone, their voice, all of it is very specific to the captured audience that they want. So again, it doesn't have
like
to
the
be
analogy that the lighthouse and the focus beam.
I do think that there's something that's a little bit unique about this situation compared to what OPEX has typically dealt with, though. And that is when we're talking about the individuals that most gyms are going to be marketing to with their individual design product, or even the individuals that they're now servicing with individual design. These are people who were never really attracted to individual design beforehand, possibly even being serviced that message. So it's not
that it wasn't even available.
Well, even if they knew it was available, it didn't appeal to them.
Oh no,
because
the community they didn't know. They didn't know it was available.
Oh, did or didn't?
It doesn't matter.
Okay, I'm saying even if they did know and they were marketed to, it wasn't for them because they enjoy the group environment. And these are the same individuals now that may still love the group environment, but that they just don't feel safe being in it. So it's like I have to do this, because I can't do what I really want to do, which is different than this appeals to me because I'm training to be a firefighter
XYZ.
and whatever, and I need something specific to get me to have this heavy ass hose up a ladder, right?
Totally.
Not for me to do something else, right? So I think there's a little bit of a different play here, because eventually when they feel safe, they may go ahead and gravitate back to you.
Right. Very well may. And like, it could be a 30-day program, a 60-day program, a 90-day program. That's where, the light at the end of the tunnel is hopefully they do return to your in-house service. But I think back to your three-banger, that's the minimum that gyms are going to need to be able to provide if they're, without crashing and burning into the ground, an offering, a digital group offering. I mean, I would think that would be the basic three. Could we get more detailed? For sure. Could you add in different layers? Absolutely. Different tracks, for sure.
Yeah. And I would say maybe to kind of wrap this all up would be, or to at least kind of wind down on these talking points, would be, if, just like with any other initiative that you ever launch in your gym, there's going to be a point, or there will be points, when you sit down and evaluate and self-reflect. Is it worth the time that we're putting into it? Is it getting traction? What do I need to adjust? This is no different than if we rewind time 1 year ago and you're thinking about launching a kids program or a master's program or a gymnastics training program or whatever, and you launch it and you get 5 people and you're like, oh boy, do I keep doing this? Okay, well, let's get some feedback. Let's see what else we need to do. Let's tweak it. It's really no different at all. The initial response may be very limited, and I wouldn't necessarily rely on your members 100% to tell you that, because if they're all in your Zoom classes, they probably don't want individual design. Right. Talk to the people who are not engaged. Figure out what would get them engaged. That'll tell you what you're doing, what you need to be doing.
Right. Agreed. I mean, you're never going to know unless you ask.
Absolutely. But don't engage with the Zoom people and be like, hey, would you like individual design? They're like, no. Don't take that as like it's a bad idea.
Yeah.
They're doing the Zoom workouts because they need to see Fuse's smiling face on the other end of the camera every day, right?
And a fresh fade.
And that fresh fade that he just got, that he just gave himself.
Times are tough, man. Well, cool. Let's. That was Plan B. If it didn't work out last night, it was going to come off. I'd be a cleaner looking Nick right now with less facial hair.
Yeah. Oh God, this gotta go.
Awesome, guys. Let's wrap it up here. Good discussion today, guys. Really good discussion. Let's see if we can do some kind of tear down and see the application, because I know a lot of people, a lot of gym owners, their eyes might be just opened up to the idea of individual design and the whole system and process of that. So I think if we can show and kind of do a tear down of a successful campaign for this, or successful execution without kind of, diving into, trademark methodologies and whatnot, I think that'd be really beneficial.
Okay.
Cool.
Awesome, guys.
Well, thanks for the time today. Happy Thursday.
It is Thursday.
It's a trick question every day.
It is.
That will not get old. All right, guys. We'll catch you again tomorrow.
Cool.
Thanks, guys.
All right,
fellas.
Stay safe. Later.